Happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here and being the highlight of my Friday. It's so lovely to be here with you all. We have our 45-minute flow style class coming at you right now. Grab a cushion if you might want it for when we're on hands and knees. Pay attention to your body, move slower, quicker, at the speed that I'm moving, whatever makes sense for you. We just want to get some healthy movement going. So, meet me up on that mat, and I will stop talking this way and start talking Pilates. All right, that cushion goes off to the side somewhere. We can grab it later. And we're going to start standing up nice and tall with our feet together or as close together as we can get them. I know some of us are a little knock-kneed or a little bow-legged. So let's go for whatever accommodation we need to make for our knees. And we'll stand up nice and tall with our feet as close together as we can comfortably get them. We're going to drop our fingertips down the outer borders of our thighs toward that outer knee joint line. And let's press our big toes, our pinky toes, and our heels firmly into the mat. We're going to imagine that nice tripod stance, tripod base of support, little triangles on both sides, holding us nice and steady. If you feel safe doing so, feel free to close your eyes. We'll notice we introduce a little bit of sway into the equation. If you feel unsteady here, open those eyes back up. What we'll notice is with that narrow base of support, we are introducing a little bit of a maybe potential unsteadiness. We might notice one foot pressing into the floor a little bit more than the other, our weight shifting forward or back or to either side a little bit. Open your eyes if they've been closed. Maybe that little sway settles down if there's been one. From here, let's turn and look over one shoulder and turn and look over the other shoulder. Again, just shifting our head and eye position might make a difference in terms of how much movement we're inducing over that base of support. Again, we'll turn our head side to side. You're going through a comfortable range. Don't feel like you have to force past that first natural barrier. We'll look forward again and let's look down toward our chest, toward that breastbone. Let's look forward toward the screen, and then we can look either with our eyes or with our head all the way up to the ceiling. Again, we'll look forward toward the breastbone, forward again toward the screen, and up to that ceiling. Looking forward again, we're going to picture a string pulling the crown of the head up to the ceiling. That string, same string dropping a plumb line from our tailbone down between those ankle bones. And we're going to step our feet slightly apart now, give us a little bit bigger base of support. Heels are lined up with the middle of each glute now. And we're going to settle our weight over our ankle joints. Soften up those knees and let's shrug and release our shoulders. We got that neck moving a little bit. Now we'll let our shoulder blades slide up and down the back of our rib cage. We drop them down and now let's roll up, back and down through some circles toward the ears, back and toward each other and down toward that waistline. Let's repeat that twice more. Again, pressing the big toe, the pinky, and the heel on both sides firmly into the mat. Dropping the fingertips down the side of the body. We'll take a big breath in here and exhale, drawing belly and spine toward each other. Tightening that seatbelt of muscles right around our midsection. Keeping some activity through those muscles, let's slide those fingertips down toward the outer knee joint line. We're going to feel a little effort through that midsection as long as we're keeping our core muscles engaged a little. And we're going to feel that rib cage lifting up and over that nice steady pelvis as we slide our hands from side to side. Let's bring ourselves up nice and tall. Inhale the arms out and up overhead with the palms facing each other. We're going to look up toward those fingertips. Take a big breath here. Exhaling, let's look forward, drop our shoulders down. And again, we'll take some tall side bends, this time reaching the crown of the head and those fingertips up and over toward the top of each side wall. We're going to get a little stretch just above the pelvis on each side. Mostly on the side we're moving our body away from. We may get a little stretch in toward the spine as well. We'll pop that trunk up nice and tall, open those arms out to shoulder level and turn the palms to face the ceiling and the thumbs to face that wall behind us. Bend those knees a touch further and we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades back and send those thumbs pulsing toward the back wall. Pulse for 8, 7, feel those chest muscles open up, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's turn our palms to face forward and bring the hands forward just far enough that we can see our thumbs wiggling in our peripheral vision. We're going to do our best to keep the pelvis nice and still here. Take a big breath in. Breathing out, we re-engage belly to spine. Let's turn that upper body. We're going to rotate from our breastbone, turning that upper body from side to side, letting the head and the arms go along for the ride with that trunk. Breathe in, face that screen. Exhaling, we'll take a turn. Inhale, face the screen, and exhaling, we'll take another turn. Let's face forward again. Bring the arms down by the sides and give those shoulders a little shake. All right, shake out your elbows, shake out your wrists, and we're going to sweep our hands forward to shoulder level. With straight elbows, we point our fingertips down and up. We're going to lengthen through those forearm muscles on both sides. We spend a fair amount of time on hands and knees, and so it's nice to get those forearm muscles warmed up for that. With the palms facing forward, we're going to open our hands out to that T again. We may notice a stretch in our fingertips. We're getting a little bit of tension around those nerves that go all the way from the neck to those fingertips. We're going to point the fingertips down and up and just wiggle through that length through the underside of the forearm. Let's bring our arms down by the sides as we continue to wave those wrists forward and back. And let's bring our arms up and out through T, continuing to wave those hands, fingertips coming toward and away each other as we reach toward the ceiling. Clasp those fingertips, press them up to the ceiling, straightening out the elbows as best we can. And we're going to lower our shoulder blades down again. Let's step our feet a little bit wider. Toes can still face directly forward. And we're again going to take a nice tall side bend, lengthening out through the side that we're moving our upper body away from. Inhale up tall, exhale, arms out to the sides and down by. We'll give them one more roll up, back, and down, and then the pinky side of our hands go right to the fold in our hips where the upper thighs fold into the pelvis. Let's bend our knees, and we're going to tip our trunk forward and take that tailbone back. As we send the crown of the head forward, we're going to lengthen our tailbone toward the back wall, picturing a little more space between each segment between head and tail as we do so. Squeeze your glutes, feel the outer hips engage, and we reach our fingertips toward the floor. Let's move to a row, and releasing through those shoulder blades as we tuck our elbows in toward the waistline and slightly up toward the ceiling. Row 3, 2, and 1, and press the elbows straight, reaching those fingertips back behind us. Doing our best to line up our hands with our shoulders. Press 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bending the knees a bit further, we're going to scoop those arms up to the ceiling, out and down by the body. Let's again bring our feet in line with our middle of each glute. We're going to take our fingertips and thumbs and circle that waistline there. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. We breathe in, and exhaling, we again draw belly and spine toward each other and feel those trunk muscles connecting and activating and tightening underneath our fingertips. We're going to shift our weight toward our toes and toward our heels. Keep the toes on the floor and keep the heels on the floor throughout that range we're moving. We're going to feel our shins. We'll feel a little work in the calves. We'll feel those core muscles tightening underneath our fingertips. And we come right back to center. Push your weight from foot to foot, keeping that pelvis nice and level. We feel our glutes kick in a little bit, those hips and sides. We're going to feel the muscles tense underneath our fingertips and those oblique muscles. And then let's circle our base of support, bringing the body side to side, forward and back, tracing a circle on the ceiling with the crown of our head. You feel those muscles kicking in a little bit asymmetrically underneath our fingertips as we go. And let's take that circle the other way. Notice it doesn't take any effort really, aside from that weight shift, to get those muscles to kick into those hands. We're going to bring our weight over the toes, spread the toes away from each other again, and shift forward until we have to lift our heels up just a touch off the floor. They may just unweight from the mat barely. You're welcome to lift up a little higher, regardless of whether we're lifting up higher or staying just hovered off the mat with those heels. We're going to feel the weight stay up over the balls of the feet. If we're coming up and down, we're going to feel everything engaging from the undersoles of the feet all the way maybe back even toward those rear end muscles. 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heels while the weight's still over the toes. And when the heels touch, we'll bring our weight right back over center. Shake those legs out. Shake your wrists out. Grab your cushion. Let's place it in the center of the mat where our feet are currently. And we're going to turn and face that cushion as we back up. Inhale, arms come out and overhead. Exhale, arms come out to the sides and down by the body. We're going to slide those hands down the sides of the lower legs, bringing them down to the floor as our knees bend. We walk our hands forward and then gently lower our knees to the mat or onto that cushion if we need that extra padding. Let's take a big breath in here. As we exhale, we're going to keep that trunk nice and still and gently draw the belly toward the spine. We'll feel that front of our belt line activating here. Keeping the upper body nice and still, we're going to wag our tail from side to side, tipping the pelvis toward the screen and away, feeling the belt line lengthen out on the sides, on the side we're moving away from. Come on back to center, reset belly to spine, we curl to cat looking toward the thighs. We take it through to cow with the breastbone facing the wall in front of us and our tailbone inching toward the ceiling. Curl it up to cat, through to cow, and right back to neutral. Let's squeeze through our shoulder blades and then press them toward the floor. Squeeze and press. If your wrists or hands are having trouble with this, back your rear end up just behind the knees. Take a little pressure off those hands. Press forward, shoulder blades pressing toward the mat. We're going to press through our toes and unweight our knees. Feel those thighs engaging. Lower the knees, squeeze the blades. Press through the blades, press through the toes, lifting the knees. Lower the knees, squeeze through the blades. Pressing the blades toward the floor, we turn the tops of the feet down to the mat. And again, we wag our tail from side to side. Let's come back to center, bringing the toes together and opening those knees just a little bit wider than shoulder width. Let's press the bottom back to the heels and lower those forearms to the mat. We're going to slide our elbows into the inner knee joint lines and give a little side to side rock. Wiggle through those hips, lengthen through the very, very top of those inner thighs, and we come right back to center. We'll slide or walk our hands a little bit farther forward, inching them until we're about 12 inches from the edge of our mat, and then we lower the forearms down to the floor. Let's shift our shoulders over those elbows, and if you do have a cushion under your knees, you can take it out now and place it again off to the side. Let's slide our legs back behind us, resting on the upper thighs as we press our hands into the floor. Breathing in, we lift our breastbone a little bit farther so it faces the bottom of the wall in front of us. And then exhaling, we drop belly and spine toward each other, lifting up until we're resting just above those kneecaps. Again, we're going to squeeze our blades together, allow the breastbone to come toward the mat. And then we press through the blades, lifting that breastbone up. Squeeze and press, squeeze and press. One more time, squeeze and press. Let's turn our bodies toward our screen, tuck the far arm underneath us, and move to our backs. With the hands down by our sides, we line our heels and our sit bones up, bending up those knees. Take a big breath in and exhale. Let the back side of the body get heavy into the mat, and we're going to draw belly to spine, feeling engagement right below that navel between the two bones in the front of our pelvis. Let's roll through our clock face positions. 12 o'clock to the breastbone, 6 by the pubic bone, 3 o'clock at the far wall, 9 o'clock facing that screen. We're going to shorten the pubic bone toward the breastbone, flattening the back, tilting the pelvis toward 12. Release that pubic bone, lengthen it down so the tailbone reaches toward our heels. 6 o'clock. Curl it up to 12 and lengthen through to 6. One more time, we curl to 12. We lengthen to 6 and we bring that body back to neutral, taking a big breath in and exhaling, resetting belly to spine. Let's take our screen side of our pelvis, lift it up while we press the far side into the mat, tilting the pelvis toward 3 o'clock. Let's roll through neutral and lift the far side of the pelvis, pressing the screen side down to the floor for 9 o'clock. Roll through center, lifting to 3. Roll through center, lifting to 9. Come on back to center, big breath in. Breathing out, we bring our ankles and knees together and float the arms to the ceiling, dropping the shoulder blades down to support us against the mat. Drop your breastbone down and reset belly to spine. We're going to rock our knees from side to side. Feet are initially going to stay on the floor. We're going to allow the bones in the back of the pelvis to come off the mat. Inhale back to center, exhale, keeping that core active. We bring our knees up to 90 degrees tabletop. Again, ankles and knees are together, and we're going to rock that pelvis again, allowing the bones on one side to pop up a little bit off the floor as we rock toward the other side. Inhale back to center, breathing out, we bring our knees slightly apart and we press our hands and our thighs together, dropping the shoulders away from the ears and feeling a little bit of engagement and a little bit of effort building through the front of the body as we continue to press our hands and our thighs toward each other. Inhaling, we straighten our knees as best we can. Exhaling, we bend back to tabletop. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. And one more time, inhale, straighten. Exhaling, we bend right back to tabletop. Flex those feet, pull the near side, the screen side leg into the body, And we're going to press our far heel all the way to the wall in front of us. Tighten up the front of that thigh and control the leg down till that heel is hovered off the mat. Point and flex the foot, big breath in. Exhale, switch the legs, flex and press that leg forward. Point and flex the ankle, switch and press. Point and flex, switch and press. Point and flex, switch and press. We're going to hold the legs right where they are, but point those toes and lower that far leg all the way to the mat. Keeping the back of that knee nice and active, pressing it into the floor. We're going to hover that leg back up off the floor and lengthen the toes toward that wall in front of us. Our toes are pulling as far away from our bent knee as we can get them to do. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Let's take our straight leg and arc it out to the far wall and right back to face the wall in front of us. Side to side. The rest of the body staying still as we can as we lengthen and move out of our hip joint. Lengthen to the side, stretch forward, and circle that wall in front for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Breathe in, and exhaling, we take that circle the other way for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, pull that knee into the body. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to switch arms, grab that knee into the body with both hands, and slide the other leg out along the mat. As we press the back of that knee into the floor, we point our toes and lengthen that leg to the wall in front before hovering it up off the floor. Keeping the rest of the body nice and still, arc that screen side leg out to the screen and right back to face the wall in front of it. Side to side. 2 more times, out to the screen and back to center. And take it out to the screen. Bring it back to center, circle the wall in front for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big breath. Breathing out, we take it the other way for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lengthen that leg down to the mat. We're going to draw that bent knee across the body as we press our other hand to the floor and give a little gentle wiggle, allowing the far side of the pelvis to rock off the floor. Come on back to center. Grab onto that knee, and then we'll switch sides. Lengthen the other leg out. Draw that bent knee across the body with the near hand and shoulder pressing into the floor. And we give a little wiggle, allowing that near hip to come off the mat if that feels appropriate. Bringing that leg right back to center. Let's hold on behind our thigh. Kick the thigh into the hands. Stretch those toes up till we find that first barrier of resistance to the back of our thigh. Maybe we rotate that leg in and out. Turn the kneecap toward one wall and then the other. Coming back to center, maybe we can wiggle a little more straightening into that knee. Flex and point your toes. Moving a little bit of that length into the calf. And as we point our toes now, we again kick the hands and the thigh toward each other. Hover that straight supporting leg up off the floor and feel that core engagement as we add our hover. Lift those hands to the ceiling and drop the blades to the floor. We're going to lower and lift that supporting heel. Lower and lift. Stretching side is reaching right back up to the ceiling. Lower that supporting leg. And we take our lifted leg from side to side toward the screen and then across toward the far wall. Out to the side, cross it over. The bones in the back of the pelvis are pressing nice and firmly into our mat. Out to the side. Take it up and over, and we'll circle the ceiling. Remembering that we can add a little bit of knee bend to have a little more slack in the system, allowing us a little more freedom of rotation. Breathe in at the top, and then taking that exhale, we circle the other direction. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Give that leg a hug. Pull the knee into the body and roll the shoulders back and down. We take a big breath in. Belly to spine on the exhale. Switch legs. As we draw the back of that knee to the floor, we'll hang on behind our lifted thigh. Kick the thigh and hands toward each other and lengthen those toes up to the ceiling, finding our first barrier of movement behind that thigh. Let's rotate that leg, kneecap toward the screen, kneecap away. Coming back to neutral. See if we can wiggle into a little more straightening for that knee. And we flex and point the toes for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. We hover our straight supporting leg up off the mat and reset belly to spine. Let's lift our hands to the ceiling and lower and lift that hovered heel for 4, 3, 2, 1. Press the heel into the mat and we bring our lifted leg out to the sidewall, up and over toward the screen. Take it to the side. Up and over. Out to the side. Up and over. And one more time, out to the side. Up and over toward the screen, and let's sweep through our circles for 4. Here's 3. Last 2. Breathe in at the top, and then exhaling, we take it the other way. There's 4. Circle 3. Last 2. Bring that leg to the ceiling. Let's draw our bent knee into the body. Take the other one in to meet it, and rock everything side to side as we take a big breath in, and we take a big breath out. Grab onto those kneecaps. We're going to hang out right here, grabbing onto those kneecaps, just giving them a nice little comfortable holding space. We drop the shoulders away from the ceiling. Keep that core active or reset it as needed, and draw those shins up till they're parallel to the ceiling. Let's float our arms up to the ceiling as well, and we take that arm on the screen side forward, arm on the far side out toward our trunk. Line it up with that trunk, pressing the hand to the wall in front of us. And we're going to take that far leg and reach it all the way to the wall in front of us. Switch sides. Opposite arm goes overhead. We bend up that knee and lengthen the other leg out in front. Switch them up. Goal here is to let the arms and legs move. Keep that trunk nice and still. If you want to make this more challenging, stretch your bent leg up toward the ceiling. Switch them up. And switch. The gaze is towards your kneecap. We give our chin a little gentle nod toward the neck. One more each. And switch. Inhale, arms and legs to the ceiling again. Bend the knees if we need a little more slack. We're going to glue our ankles and knees together and trace a circle on the ceiling. Legs moving together. Trace that circle the other direction. Let's alternate circles, clockwise, counterclockwise. Let's bring our arms down by our sides, pressing the backs of the shoulders into the mat and widening the collarbones away from center. One more circle. One direction. Inhale at the top. One final circle the other way. We breathe our legs toward the ceiling and exhale out to V. Toes reaching toward the far wall and toward that screen. Inhale, arms to the ceiling, feet together. Exhale out to V. Arms stay reaching upward. Inhale to the ceiling, exhale to V. Inhale to the ceiling and exhale to V. Bend the knees, touch those toes together. We're going to hold frog and flatten that low back against the mat. Big breath in again. Breathing out, press those knees together, stretching the toes to the top of the wall in front of us. Inhale to frog. Exhale, press. Inhale to frog. Exhale, press. 2 more. Inhale to frog. Exhale and press. And last time, inhale to frog. Hold them here. Draw those knees together and rock side to side. Big breath in and breathe right back out to center. Let's take our feet down to the mat, lining the heels up with the sit bone so there's a little bit of space between our knees now. Bring the arms down by the sides. We'll rock our knees away from and toward that screen. Bringing those knees back to the ceiling, inch the heels a little closer to the bottom, and we take a big breath in. Let's breathe out belly to spine, squeeze those glutes, and lift our hips. Hold them toward the ceiling as we stretch our knees to the wall in front, and we take a big breath in. Exhaling, lengthen the body back down, tap the hips down to the mat, and squeeze, lifting them toward the ceiling. Inhale and lower. Exhale, squeeze, lifting a bridge. Inhale and lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Hold it here. Hips are lifted. We take our heels up and down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, holding that bridge. Exhale, lengthen the body down. Release those glutes at the bottom, and we take our knees side to side. One more time. Rock them to one side and rock them to the other. Inhale right back to center, and breathing out, we squeeze those glutes, press through the heels, and lift back up to our bridge. Let's take one knee at a time out toward each side wall. And as we bring our knees out to the side, try to keep your big toe pressed firmly into the mat. That's going to keep the effort through those hip muscles versus allowing us to rely on our ankles to get that motion. Inhale at the top, exhale, bridge down. Release the glutes at the bottom, and again, we rock side to side. And one more time, rock the knees to one side, rock them over to the other, and come right back to center. Big breath in, belly to spine on the exhale, squeeze and lift those hips. We're going to move into our march, taking one knee at a time toward the same side shoulder, while pressing the opposite foot firmly into the mat. Heels and toes stay on the floor. Challenge it further if you'd like by extending that knee, reaching the toes up to the ceiling. Last two. Last one. Press that foot into the mat. Squeeze and lift the hips as our final heel presses down. And we breathe out, lengthening the body down to our mat. Release the glutes at the bottom. We take our knees side to side for 4, for 3, drop 2, and 1. Come on back to center. We're going to cross our screen side ankle over the opposite knee. If you have a little more slack left and can keep shoulders and head on the floor, go ahead and lift up. Whether we're lifted or not, we're going to rock that body side to side. Take a few breaths here as we ease that stretch out to the side of the hip. We come back to center, switch it up, ankle to knee. Again, lifting if there's a little more slack. Our two sides might be very different. Rock side to side, whether that foot is lifted or on the mat. Big breath in and breathe right back to center. We're going to unwind, give those knees one more hug, and take our feet to the floor. Our elbows come out to the edges of the mat. We take our fingertips to the points in the front of the hip, and let's take a big breath in. Breathe out, belly to spine. Nod that chin toward the neck, and we're going to slide our legs out along our mat. We try to keep those fingertips nice and still and the pelvis nice and still under them as we slide out straight with those legs. Let's keep our core active and lift one leg up and down, and then the other. We'll alternate those legs. We're doing our best to keep the back nice and still. It doesn't have to be pressed flat into the mat, but we want it nice and stationary. We're moving out of our hips for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees a bit. We're going to open our arms out to T with the palms facing the ceiling. Let's give our chin a little nod toward the neck, and then turn that head with that slight chin tuck toward the screen to open up the far side of the chest. Inhale back to center, looking toward the ceiling, and breathing out, we give that chin a little nod and turn to look to the far wall, opening up the chest on the screen side. Inhale back to center, and breathing out, we float our hands just slightly above the floor and open them up all the way overhead. Touch those thumbs. Keeping the middle back pressed into the floor, we open our arms to T, hover them slightly off the mat, and we bring them all the way down by our sides. Inhale, open to T, exhale, overhead. Finish the snow angel. Inhale, open to T, and exhale those arms by the sides. We're going to turn toward our screen, grab our cushion if we need them, and then let's move ourselves over to hands and knees again. All right. Once we're up on hands and knees, we line everything up. Wrists and shoulders, knees and hips are aligned with each other. And let's draw the belly to the spine. We'll curl through cat and over to cow, and repeat that one more time. Curl the cat and through to cow. Come on back to center. Shoulders stay still as we wag our tail from side to side. Come on back to center. We're going to slide our screen side leg back, pressing the ball of the foot into the floor. Press the hands firmly into the mat. Bring the other knee up to plank. The first knee comes to the mat and the second knee comes down. Slide the far leg out. Press the ball of the foot into the mat. We come up to plank. First knee comes in. Second knee comes in. Repeat. Slide the leg out. Press to plank. Near knee comes in. Far knee comes in. Last time, slide the far leg back. Bring that near knee to plank. Hold it here. Shift toward the screen and away. We can always bring our knees down to the mat if we need more support. Come on back to center. Inhale. Exhaling, our knees come back to our cushion and we curl through cat. Reversing and lengthening through to cow. Coming back to center. Give those wrists a little shake. All right. We are going to come down to all fours. Elbows are right below our shoulders. Forearms are parallel to each other. And we reset belly to spine. Let's take our screen side leg, slide it out straight behind us, lift it up to trunk level, and bend that back knee heel to the bottom. We draw our knee down to the mat and slide the leg out again. We're doing a bicycle, giant bicycle. Slide and lift, bend and lower. One more time. Slide and lift, bend and lower. Reverse that. Bend the knee, heel to bottom. Lift to the ceiling, straighten that leg out. Tap the toes to the floor with the knee straight. Slide in. We're pedaling the other way. There's 3. Here's 2. Last time, slide the knee in, take a breath. Exhale, and we slide our opposite leg back. Squeeze the glute, lift up. Bend the knee heel to the bottom. We take our knee to the mat. Slide and lift. Bend and lower the knee. 2 more. Slide and lift. Bend and lower. Slide and lift. Bend and lower. Let's reverse that. Bend that knee, heel to the ceiling. Straighten the leg, toes come down. Bend the knee, heel to the ceiling. Straighten that leg, toes come down. Last 2. Lift and straighten and lower. Bend that knee. Lift and straighten. Lower down. Bend that knee again. We're going to curl through cat. Pop ourselves right back up onto our hands and give that tail a little wag. Resetting belly to spine and center. We slide our screen side leg back. Lift it off the mat and take the opposite arm. Reach it out in front. Hold 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. Lengthen and reach. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch it up. Lengthen and reach. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last time through. Lengthen and reach. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand comes down, back foot comes down. We are fat leg to the far wall and press our foot into the floor. As we press down, we're going to feel that inner thigh lengthen out. Rock that bottom back and forth. Rock it back. Pull up over those hands. Last 2, rock. Take it up, and last time, rock it back. Take it up tall, hip over the knee, and slide the leg back. We'll draw it in to meet the other knee and slide the screen side leg behind us. Arc that leg to the side and press the foot into the mat. Lengthen into that inner thigh, and we rock back. Pull up over those hands. Rock it back. Pull up nice and tall. 2 more times. Rock back and pull forward and rock back. Pull up over those hands. We slide our leg back and draw that knee to center. Let's curl the cat, and this time we're going to come all the way up to tall kneeling. Coming up tall, stacking the trunk up over the pelvis. We'll take our fingertips to our waistline, thumbs in the back of the waistline. Take a moment in here to organize yourself over your cushion or over a different part of the mat as needed. And we're going to gently curl that pelvis toward 12 o'clock. Pubic bone shortening toward breastbone, opening up that low back just a little. Let's keep our shoulders released down toward the waistline, and we take a big breath in. Exhaling, lean that body back. Feel that trunk engaging into the fingertips. And then we inhale up nice and tall, trunk over the pelvis, pelvis over the knees. Lengthen back. Inhale up tall. 2 more times. Lengthen back. Inhale up tall. And lengthen back. Inhale up tall. Let's come down again. We're going to take a seat on our mat this time. Move your cushion out of the way. Get the weight settled over the front of the sit bones, and we're going to bring our feet out to the outer edges of our mat. Keeping the weight over the sit bones, we're going to stretch those feet forward until we find that first stopping point or a stretch behind those thighs. Our goal is going to be to try to get those knees as close to the mat as you can. And we're going to point our toes and lift the hands up to shoulder level. Palms are facing each other. Big breath in. Exhale, hinge that body forward, and inhale up tall. It's again okay if those knees are bent. Exhale, hinge. Inhale up tall. Exhale, hinge. Inhale up, and one more time. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, bring that body up tall. Bring your feet together. Bend those knees. Heels are lined up with the sit bones. Knees are bent not quite 90 degrees here, and we bring our arms forward again. Let's open the arms out to a narrow V. We reset belly to spine. Angle that body back. Our trunk is still straight. We're moving from our hips, but we're going to feel that trunk engaging at some point fairly soon into that motion. Cross the arms. Take a big breath in. As we breathe out, the arm on the far side is going to reach toward the screen, and then we breathe right back to center. Inhale. Exhale, reach toward the far wall. Inhale to center. Exhale, cross over, reach toward the screen. Inhale, face forward. Exhale, cross over, reach to the far wall. Inhale back to center, grab the shins, pull that trunk up tall, shrug the shoulders up and breathe them down to the waistline. Again, we breathe in and we exhale belly to spine. Let's grab on behind our thighs, tip the trunk back, but this time we bring our heels a little closer to the body. We open our arms back up to that narrow V, and we're going to rock our knees side to side toward our screen and toward the far wall. Again, that trunk is nice and straight. We're just tipped back. 4, rock 3, 2, and back to center. Grab the shins, pull the body up tall, roll the shoulders back and down, and we press our hands right into the outer knee joint line. Hold it there, Elbows stay tucked in by the sides. Again, we lean the body back. This time by straightening our elbows, keep that pressure through the knees. Open and close the arms out to the side, alternating. Out to the screen, back to the center. Out to the far wall, back to the center. We're going to repeat for 4. Inhale to the knee. Switch it 3. Back to the knee. Here's 2 to the knee. And one more time to the far wall. Coming back to center, we come back up nice and tall, vertically rotating the trunk, and we give our shoulders a roll back and down before settling our weight back to the heels of our hands, which are right behind our rear end. We're going to straighten out those elbows and squeeze the blades. Send that breastbone up to the ceiling and inch your bottom forward. Feel that chest open up. Do a little stretch in the biceps. We can hold here, or if you have a little more slack to give through those arms, we can take our hips up. Wherever we are, we hold it here. Hold 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that bottom. Face the screen. Give those wrists a little shake, and we'll make our way all the way down onto our side. Resting on that bottom arm, we take our knees forward, and lift up that waistline. Bring the top hand to the top hip and take that knee up and down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down, lift the feet. Lift 3, lift 2, lift them up again. Top knee comes up and down. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Lift that knee. Knee comes down and feet come down. Press the bottom leg into the mat and lift to hydrants. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to hip level. Top hand comes to the mat in front. Slide the bottom leg out straight and we move through hydrants again. 4, 3, 2. Back to hip level. Stretch the toes forward. Straighten out that knee. Swing the leg back to the wall behind. Take it forward and back. 2 more times. Forward and back. Swing it forward. Take that leg to the back wall. Our top arm goes overhead. Top toes come down and up for 4, 3, 2. Lift and hold. Circle the leg forward. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to reverse that for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pulse the top leg up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Take that top hand to the mat. Tighten up that bottom thigh. Lift the leg up. Lower it down. Lift to the top leg and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Last 4. Last 3. Here's 2. And 1. Take that top leg down. We'll bend with our knees and give our hip a little pat. Let's reach our hand forward toward the screen and bring it to the ceiling. Looking toward the hand, we take a breath. Exhaling, we open that arm to the back wall for open book. Inhale up, exhale forward, and we'll take ourselves up and all the way over to our other side. Bend up those knees again. Resting on the bottom arm, we lift our waistline and bring our top hand to that top hip. Top knee comes up for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Knees come down, lift the feet, and lift, and lift. Lift and hold, top knee up. 3, 2, and 1. Knee comes down, take the feet down, press that top leg up. 3, 2, and 1. Back to hip height, top hand to the mat. Stretch that bottom leg out straight. Lift and lower that leg. Lift 3, lift 2, lift 1. Back to hip level. Stretch that knee straight, toes to the screen. Swing them back. Swing forward and press back. Swing forward and back. One more time. Swing that leg forward. Press it back. Top arm swings overhead. Stretch it out to that wall and toes come down and up. 3, 2, and 1. We're in the home stretch. Circle that leg forward. 3, 2, and 1. Take it the other way. 3, 2, and 1. Pulse that leg up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Top hand to the floor. Slide that bottom leg back. Bring it up and down. 7, 6, 5, 4. Pull from that inner knee. 2, and 1. Take that top leg down. Bend your knees up. And give your hip a little pat. Let's reach forward, bring that arm to the ceiling, and inhale as we look toward our hand. We breathe out to open book, stretch toward that far wall. Inhale, arm up, exhale, reach that screen, and let's turn onto our backs. All right, bend up those knees, bring the arms down by the sides. Take a big breath in, and as we exhale, let that back side of the body get as heavy as we can get it. Let it sink down into the mat. Let the belly drop down to meet it. Drop that breastbone down toward the floor. And we're going to rock our knees away from and toward the screen. Let's repeat that again. Rock away from the screen and toward it. Come on back to center. We'll cross our screen side ankle over the other knee. Lift up if you can. Rock away from and toward the screen, whether that other foot is lifted or on the mat. Coming back to center, we'll unwind. Ankle to knee. Again, lift if you can. Give that lower body a rock. Come on back to center. Unwind and give those knees a hug into the chest. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. We take our feet to the floor and sweep our arms to the ceiling. Open them out to T and turn that head. Let's look toward our screen and away. Again, turn that head toward the screen. Turn and look toward the far wall. Looking back to the ceiling, we slide our arms down by our sides. And let's turn our whole body toward our screen before making our way up to hands and knees. Get that cushion if you want. Once we've got our bearings on all fours, let's curl through cat and cow. Belly to the ceiling, looking toward the thighs. Tailbone to the ceiling, lifting the breastbone up and forward. Come on back to center, shoulders stay still. We wag that tail side to side. And again. Bring that body back to center. We turn our toes under and we press the bottom back to our heels. Lengthen through the soles of the feet. Lengthen through those Achilles, those calves. Walk the hands back to the knees and we'll flip our weight over to our feet. As we walk our hands back, we get our center of gravity over those ankles. Let's come up nice and tall. Give the shoulders a couple of shrugs. Take a moment, make sure you feel steady. And then when you're ready, let's meet in the center of our mat, facing forward. We're going to bring our hands to our waistline, and we're going to bring those feet together, or as close together as we can. We're finishing the way we started. We're going to get those feet together. Settle the big toe, the pinky, and the heel into the floor. And if you feel safe doing so, close your eyes. Acknowledge any sway that might be there. Press those feet firmly into the floor. We open up our eyes. If this is a big enough challenge, stay right where you are. If you want to make it more challenging, slide one foot in front of the other. Let's stand heel to toe. If you need something steady to hold on to, feel free to move toward a chair or a table. Look side to side if you want to challenge it more. And look forward. Shift to the back leg. We're going to lift up into single leg balance. If that's too much, our toes come down to the floor on the other side. We hold here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that foot down, shift to the other side, and we stand heel to toe if we want to challenge it. Otherwise, we stay standing in that narrow base of support with the feet together. Add the head turn for a little more challenge. Look forward again, and we'll shift to our back leg, coming up onto single leg balance or dropping the toes to the floor on the other side. Hold 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take those feet apart. Shake your wrists out, shake your knees out, shake those ankles out, and we settle our hands down toward our thighs. Soften up the knees, breathing in, we shrug and release our shoulders. Let's take our feet together and we open our arms out to the sides. Let's reach them overhead. Look to the hands as we press our palms together, and we're going to take that upper body side to side. We'll sway one more time to each side. Feeling the length through the side of our trunk, side of our hip. Inhale to the ceiling, look to those fingertips, and breathing out, we bring our hands to center. Happy Friday. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you guys next time.